Hey guys, this video today is brought to you by the G Group. The G Group is a real estate team that specializes in all facets of real estate. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or even add an investment property to your portfolio, you name it. The G Group can connect you with an experienced agent that can help you through every transaction with confidence and care. Contact Eli Godinez with any questions, or if you like to see what your current home is worth today, the G Group is here to help. Call or text now. It's funny, this is probably the most I've been on social media ever. And I know a lot of my friends, they just like, man, JR ain't never been on social media. Even current people, they like, man, Adrian is he's never on there. Like I usually only use social media for moments, and I have like I don't know, man. I have a love-hate relationship with it. Uh, Honestly, what it was intended to be when it first started, when Facebook first came out, when I was it's funny, it's my generation that did this. Facebook came out when I was
You were 20, huh?
no, I was 18. I think I was
Okay,
18,
you
19. I was a freshman in college when it came out because it was only for college students. You had to have an EDU.
Oh,
And-
man. You old.
yeah. Y'all remember that. EDU. It used to be an EDU. And yeah, man, it was different. Like it was just you really communicating with whoever you want to communicate, like literally talking and then you'll go meet up. But it's almost like how texting was. Like texting had been out for a while, but we never used it because we were used to just talking on the phone or just going to meet up. And I think I started to see, as I was in college, people slowly like a slow progression towards seeing folks in the library. They on Facebook when they supposed to be studying. And they talking to a person that's sitting on that side of the library. I'm like, bro, just go sit over there. Like, talk to them, like, what y'all doing? And I started realizing that I just wasn't with that. Like I was a face-to-face type of guy. And then I was private. Like I was especially how I used to be. I was super like slick. I didn't want people knowing my business, and I ain't like to put everything out. And I think that's what, even now, like I don't like to show. Me and my wife, I'm so happy we on the same page about that, man. We don't want to show everything, and I think people just feel like they have to show everything. And a part of me like, yo, man, I don't think folks care that much. But some people need attention. They need validation. And it might speak to a lot of insecurities in their own life. And sometimes I think about that. It's like, are people not content with themselves or happy with themselves? Which in most cases is the truth. And that's, I mean, you think about it. Social media is a filtered lifestyle. It presents a filtered presentation, and it's attractive because now I have the ability to not be me as I see me or as you see me. Even though you can walk past me any day of the week and we can kind of chat, I can get on social media and be completely different. And that feeds into my ego, feeds into my securities, and you don't even know how far gone you got until it's too late.
It's like a real life Sims game, you know? You ever play Sims?
Sims, bro. Hey, Sims,
Your own
that was
world,
it.
you know? It's our own world. It's crazy. Half of the people on social media, it's shocking, you know? It's like it's one thing to like put a filter and look different, but then to have a completely different persona and a personality that's just different is just crazy.
Bro, I see a lady, and I don't know her name, but it's a lady that I see at church. I've never said nothing. She never said nothing to me. You would not know that, like, by seeing her in person and then seeing how she is on her social media page, it's night and day, bro. Night and day. And I'm just be like, how can people, like, just how can you live like that? I think that was one of the things I told you when I knew we were gonna become partners. I was like, bro, my only thing is be consistent. Don't switch up on me. Like that's been my thing, and that's hard for me. That's for real. Like don't switch up. Be consistent with who you are, how you present yourself to me. If you're a stand up guy, then be a stand up guy all the way. Don't get to a certain point where you're around a certain crowd and you try to switch up. Don't try to play me. You know.
Yeah, and in the defense, like you said, the biggest things is validation and insecurities, bro. And we can dive into that really because that's why you because in the past it's like a woman can put on makeup to make sure she's completely just perfect. Now they put on makeup just to go on social media. They get dressed up just to go make a TikTok. It's like they're not even leaving the house. It's crazy. And people they're receiving so much more validation. They're receiving money. You got girls who don't even do nothing with it like that got Cash App in their bio. It's like, what is happening?
Bro, like the question is how much is too much? That's the ultimate question. How much is too much? And what's the overall effect of too much information or too much, I guess, availability? Maybe that's not the word. I say too much exposure. That's probably better. Like how much is too much? And what is what's the effect of that? Number one is that the attention. Like exposing yourself to so much so soon or believing that you need these things to solidify you. Oh, let's talk about I want to talk about single people because I feel like it does more damage to them than good because they don't know how to be with themselves. The thing about being single is you can't expect somebody to come in your DMs and be all that you need them to be when you're not even secure in yourself. You might have a day where you just like I'm looking nice, I feel good, I gotta, I had a good week. Let me show myself, men and women, because I see I see it's women and it's guys that feel like they have to show a front, show a facade, but then they will post something uh, that they see as significant. But then they'll come right back and then post something about, like try to show themselves as something that they're not. And it's like, dang man, you got to make sure your angle's right. You got to make sure the filter right. You got to make sure everything's on point. And then you still got to go back to the reality. That's
You can only get so many likes,
bro.
It's like I can't even imagine living my life based on like the likes that I get because I be getting like an average of 12 likes. But the thing in my soul, I know that I'm posting pure gold,
Yeah.
I know it, but there's people who they need that validation or else there is nothing, And I feel like that's the biggest problem with too much social media is that you can become super popping super quick and it can go away just as fast.
Well, it's not telling the truth either. Mm. You can get if you do something long enough, you can become good at it, even lying. And so that's all that it is. When you, regardless if you try to say filtered, even though you filtering it, it's still a lie. Even though even though we mask ourselves with a certain type of coloring or atmosphere around it, it's still a lie because you still have to deal with yourself the second you walk away from that post. Because you need the next one. It's an addiction too, because it's like trying to get that next high. You know what I'm saying? Like you're never gonna get, and I heard this from addicts, you're never gonna get that same experience after that first high. And I think with a lot of people, they get that one moment where like, man, this joint got like so many likes. Let me try to do that again, relive that again, and next thing you know, you live in a lie, and you've created something that's leaked into your real life, and it's affecting your real relationships because you don't even know how to exist in reality no more. You become awkward. You become unable to communicate properly or explain yourself, or even um, for guys and women, you don't even know how to date. So now you got to go on online dating because you don't even know how to talk to somebody at a coffee shop or just passing by or at a gas station or just randomly. That's the generation I come from.
And then even the funny thing is like you say like with single people, you know, like you end up creating a lie. Like with married people, it could become the same thing. I mean, in my own personal experience, my first marriage, the moments when I was most upset at her, I'd make a post of us, like our wedding picture. It'll just so happen to be a Thursday. So let me do a throwback Thursday real quick and post how much I love this girl who I ain't even talking to right now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, man. That's funny too. That's funny, bro. That's funny because I still see a lot of that. I
Yeah.
know that folks be mad fighting,
Mm-hmm.
and they try to like come with a post how much they love a woman, and I was like, bro, y'all was just fighting. That's why you post that. Y'all just had a fight, or she was right, and this is your way of trying to win her over and have a good night. Um, it's been hard for me to do that. Like when I look at married couples, let's talk. I want to say this real quick: the responsibility that you have to have when you married, right? So, some guys say they like to see their wife, exposed, like they cool with that. Women also, some people would like to see they girl be more respectable, because less is more. At least that's what I come from. But at the same time, it's like y'all can present your marriage as the perfect marriage through social media, and nobody will ever know what y'all dealing with behind closed doors. The second y'all can probably go out on a date where y'all both fly, looking good, and the second that the post is up, y'all going out, y'all ain't even holding hands, y'all barely talking at dinner. You might have children that can be y'all buffer, but just to keep y'all from having to deal with each other. But on social media, people is applauding y'all. Man, I love y'all. Love y'all. You look so beautiful together. One day I gotta get. I want this. People just gassing y'all up, and you. And in reality, they a mess. So much brokenness there, and the only you not the guy. The husband's not understanding his woman. The woman not understanding the husband, and there's a breakdown because there ain't no quick fix for intimacy. Intimacy isn't just physical. And that's the misconception. A lot of people rush into marriage. A lot of singles rush into marriage because of what they've consumed nowadays, what they've consumed from social media. I got to hurry up and find my guy so I can present an image also that I have love. But it's social media love. It's not true intentionality that takes place behind closed doors where now I have to really invest in you. I got to be intentional about wanting to know you. You got to be intentional about wanting to know me. And we got to figure out what our roles are because it's a lot of bumping heads that happens because, especially when you got two dominant personalities that come together.
Bro, it's crazy that you said that because it's like, you see two people who become professional at presenting their relationship to the world. So they present the perfect relationship to the world, and now single people, they're not learning how to actually deal with your spouse. When you do get married behind closed doors, they're just learning how to make it look good in public, and
Well,
on social media.
they're professionals at side by side. They don't have no face to face action. That's the difference. You can become very good at the side by side because you ain't got to deal with each other. You can put on that smile. I ain't really got to look at you right now. And we can always be that side by side couple and make it and present ourselves because this is what people are going to see, this right here. But you can't deal with each other. It's side by side is a requirement, but the face to face, that's the lifetime. Because marriage isn't boring. Marriage is forever growing. And people get that twisted. they come from the generation of ball and chain or well I might as well get married.
Yeah.
You know, it's more people that
Yeah.
have gotten married because I might as
Might as
well.
well.
You know, and they realize like, dang, I messed up, or they get married because they burning with so much lust. I'm talking about people, Christian people now, um, and they realize they're like, man, when I got married, I thought that it was gone. I said, and I laughed like, what? You got married to have sex, and you thought it was gonna go away, that you weren't gonna see no more attractive women, you weren't gonna have no more temptation, like, oh. But now you got a responsibility because now it's not fair to her now. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that these things have happened, you know, and so it's, or you come into marriage with baggage, like in my situation, you know what I'm saying? And that creates a whole nother dynamic because I come in with all these bags and I expect this one woman to be everything that I'm used to when she has no idea. How fair is that? So it's a lot, man, that I'm speaking in the context of social media, but that's just a universal thing right there. What I just spoke to you about.
Yeah. Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
And I think even because social media comes into play with all that too, because you're talking about baggage. If you have 10 years of social media relationships in your mind, you have this really tainted idea of what marriage is. So you go from single to married and you're thinking it's going to look like the couples who was on YouTube, you know? So you're going to be disappointed because the reality is that's literally just a presentation to the world. You don't really see what's going on behind closed doors.
it's the things we say too, man, or rather the things we type, because it's more typing going on than there is actual speaking. And there's responsibility in that again for creators and influencers, Christian and secular alike. It was a lady, me and Erica, just for a lot of people watching, we're expecting our third child. We're having another boy, so we'll have three boys. And we're doing this all natural. So we're taking a doula class, right? And a lady the other night, bro, a lady the other night, she was like, so I'm on TikTok and I struggle with anxiety and it's because of TikTok. And me and Erica look at each other. We like, well, get off TikTok, bruh. Like, get off. Like that's what's the problem is people don't know. They rather continue to fall into anxiety, fall into depression, and still do the things that's causing it because they're so addicted to it. Like I get so much anxiety from being on TikTok and all these things. Like, well, you don't need to be on there. That's like a person indulging in alcohol or and saying they're tired of having hangovers. Stop drinking, bro. Like you can't handle it, so you need to need to stay away from that or just anything else. It's anything. It's moderation almost like it don't even exist no more. And that's the sad part, man. Right now is that people, that's the part about the information. Like too much of it because people get, and you know where it comes from because this society doesn't care about telling the truth. They just care about being first. I don't care who it hurts. I don't care who it destroys. I just got to be first. Just got to be first. I don't have to be right. I don't have to tell the truth. And they post these things out there, and people just flood and they consume it, digest it, and then it gets into their heart. And now they wonder why they're struggling. And now they on antidepressants and all these other medications that their body don't needs. The body that cannot handle all this fake crap that you're putting in it. And, bruh.
Man, I know somebody who just tried to commit suicide like a month ago. But it's like she used to be on TikTok or on YouTube watching girls like put makeup on, talking about horror stories, like real true stories and like really bad situations, stuff like that. So like that, you don't even understand how that could affect you because like, why is this little girl who was so innocent like 3, 4, 5 years ago, why is she trying to take her life today? You know, It's like now she's, like you said, she's on antidepressants. She's on all these different things. She's going to therapy and stuff like that. But it's like, what really is going on? And she's like, she really came up like TikTok was a huge thing during her adolescence. She's like 16 now, you know? So it's just crazy because you don't know what really is going on with these little kids or how the effect is happening. And we're just, like you said, and it's all habitual. We pick up the phone because it's a habit. It's just a habit. You pick up your phone, you go to TikTok, and you just scroll.
Well, no, it's all good, bro. I appreciate you sharing it because that's the issue that we have is that it's too accessible. It's too accessible, man. It's too like it's funny. Technology actually caused us to have more work because now we can work from home. It's too like you thought that leaving the workhouse that's enough. You can come and be with your family and your friends, and y'all can just enjoy this time. But you can literally walk around with access to everything. This is an information box. This right here is just ready to go, and not many people can handle it. The younger generation, because they don't have the proper guidance, or the parents are lazy. That's what a lot of people. That's what a lot of corporations count on. The parents not being ready to filter or vet anything their child is watching or exposed to. It's like, all right, man, that's you got 10 minutes here, or like 15 minutes here. That's enough. Or you're not even watching anything that's edifying or educational. It's just put the iPad, laptop, or phone in front of them and not even paying attention to what they're getting exposed to. And by the time they 15, it's too late because your foundation was already crumbled. That's why I love this. This is the thing about when Jesus talked about uh, the the rock, one house being built on the foundation, other guy being built on the sand. The thing about that I love is that when the sun's out, they both look the same. Both houses are good. It's not until the storm comes that the guy that built his house on the sand realized that he messed up. Laughing at the guy that's really building the rock, chiseling the rock, building his house with a strong foundation. And he like, man, this man, why he doing all this? We look at each other like that all the time. Like we do that. Like, bro, why you doing all that? You ain't got to do all that. And next thing you know, you have fell into all these different things because you didn't want to take the time that it needs to build your children up and invest in them and make sure that they are understanding what they're doing or what they're opening themselves up to. Like, let a kid be a kid. You can't do that no more. It's too much access.
Yeah, that's deep, bro. Because like now they have so much more they have so much information at such a young age, at such a small condensed period of time, and there's no parameters being set. So that can become overwhelming, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's no limits.
Mhm.
Like it's crazy. Like
It's the wave effect, like I mentioned in the earlier video. The wave effect, man. They don't even know they being carried. They don't even know they being swayed. And it's not in the pen. They don't have a protector. They just have a babysitter. You're not even a real parent now. You know what I'm saying? And then you trying to encourage single people when you ain't even doing what you supposed to do, modeling, showing them a modeled influence for them to follow or some type of blueprint, you know? And
Oh, and with that too, bro. That's another thing that's the craziest thing about social media is that we do get followers. And if you are trying your best to be the model blueprint, where we keep falling short is that no one is God. No one can be what Jesus is to people, but that's the expectation people put onto these influencers, onto these celebrities. They say, "Oh, why are you doing this? You know, my daughter looks up to you." They're putting so much of these expectations on these influencers, on these personalities, and they're not able to actually manage that either, you know?
that's the idols, man. Them people can only they can't give you what you're looking for. You've the thing about the second that we put out our hopes in these idols, in these celebrities or these influencers, the second that we put all our hope in that, and them just saying little motivational things uh, that people will take as the key to life because they're looking at what they've amassed in their lifetime. that's where it gets dangerous because God might not have called you to be like them. Like you're so external with it. You're not even looking internal to see, well, hold up, what's really in my heart? What's the purpose that God has really given me for my life, for me, for you guys? Like, what is it that you supposed to be doing? I know you like all these external things, and that's not a bad thing, but you've gotten lost, or you've gotten distracted on what God's actually put in your life. And so now when Christ tries to do a cleansing in you, you resist it because it don't sound like what you're hearing from a celebrity or from an idol. When Christ is like, no, I'm trying to make you how I made you. I'm trying to give you exactly what's for you, not for what you want to be like them, because I give you what you need, not what you want. And that's the slippery slope. We can enjoy entertainment, but you have to know what you can handle. Not a lot of people are mature enough, especially spiritually. People not mature enough spiritually to just take something for face value without it becoming um, truth.
Amen to that.
It's
That's
a lot.
good, bro. No, that's good. Because that's literally social media, bro. Like, to some people, social media is fake, but then to some people, social media is real. So if a troll goes and tells somebody you're fat, they're gonna take that to the heart, you know. Like they're gonna
That's so
post and
terrible.
project the way they feel onto social media because they just need that acceptance and they feel like that's their voice. And when it's not met, there's something going on inside, you know.
Bro, I'm speaking like this because I struggled with a lot of stuff. A lot of things. Like, I used to be affected a lot. And my sister and my mom, they know this because we've already talked about it years ago when they used to say, um, you act just like your daddy. And I used to be like, what? Like, he ain't even around. Like, but it said it so much that I started believing it, where I used to go in the bathroom and not even like turn the light on because every time I would look in the mirror, I would see him. So I would get ready in the dark. And I remember years ago, I came to my mom and them, like, after I had matured enough to be able to, where I was ready to speak and, and I had a voice that they could acknowledge. I remember telling them how that affected me. And of course, they didn't know. They didn't know, and you don't know what you're saying sometimes. Thank God he covered me and he didn't let me, go fall into despair too deep. But that's why you realize those scriptures about there's life and death in the tongue. Regardless if you speaking to your child, you speaking to a friend, you speaking to a person on social media, or even typing to a person on social media. That's why I said about typing, there's life and death in whatever you say. And I want to, we'll get into it, like, because I want to elaborate on that. I want to break that down for people, that's watching to really understand that. But real damage can be done. You don't know if a person gonna commit suicide. You don't know if a person gonna go and shoot up a school. You don't know if a person gonna kill somebody or just, just fall off the face of the earth. Like, you think you being funny. You think you just can throw this comment out there and then walk away from it, and you're not gonna be held responsible for that.